Hey everybody, welcome and thank you for being here. I finished my blue heart that I started just before I went on my trip. I had done all the fabric sewing down stuff, the ruffles and the flower and all that. I had done that before I left, and then I just took the beads and the threads, all the threads with me, plus what I bought when I was away that I've already shown you. So I just wanted to show a close-up of that. Lot of hours. I think this one probably took me somewhere between 30 and 35 hours. And this is the 8-inch frame. I'm going to do some in the 6-inch frames and see how they come out, because this is just a lot of hours of work. And if I am able to sell them, I'm going to want to recoup what I'm owed, you know. I did put the backing on differently this time. I snipped the white fabric pretty close, and then I had cut out the felt and I stitched my name on it. I still have to hit it with an iron to get the ink off it, but it says Martha Managross 2023. It doesn't show up very well, but you know, I didn't want it blaring in your face. I am thinking about buying some labels. Corrine had bought some labels online, and I'm thinking of having some made up. I know this is a lot more personalized, but the labels are probably way faster and way easier to incorporate. So then after I glued this down, I tried gluing the felt down on the inside edge, and then immediately tried to start stitching it. And the stitches were pulling the felt off, and the felt was pulling the white fabric off of the edge of the inside edge of the frame. So I'm letting it dry. I probably could just leave it like that. I used art glitter glue, not the 3-in-1 or whatever it's called, for fabric, which I probably should pull out, but I detest the way it smells. So I'm still thinking of stitching it around the edge, but I may not have to, because the stitching was actually pulling it all up. And so anywho's, this way it can be hung again by a hook in the back, hopefully. A little nail in the wall, you know, something like that. So yeah, I'm very happy with the blue one. I can't wait to make my next one. I don't know what color it'll be, maybe purple, I don't know. And I want to incorporate some of the fabrics from the rag rug that I bought and tore apart. That are, I show that in a previous video. So that's done. And I know, you just can't believe I would do this. I changed this all around. I just love this fabric too much, and I was not loving this fabric. It just wasn't doing it for me. This was right here, and then I had other flowers around it and stuff, and I had one little bird with this piece of fabric up here. I kept the pieces to show. I had that one right there, right? And then I went and put, uh-oh, what did I do with it? Oh, it's here. Hold on. Hold that thought. I thought I was all prepared and had the pieces all here. Hold on. It's here somewhere. Here it is. And then I had, not that one. Oh, Martha, what'd I do with it? Well, I can't find it. But anyway, I had this piece cut out, and it was a separate piece. And that made no sense to me. I was trying to piece it back together because I'd actually cut these two apart. This piece and a piece here. I had cut those apart. And I thought, I just like it as a cohesive one piece of fabric. So I managed to sort of kind of fit this in. That's not where the stem of that goes, but it sort of looks like it should. And I wanted to cover up that flower underneath. So yeah, I still can't figure out where that bird went. But anywho, it wasn't that one. It was shaped just like that. So, yeah, so I changed it all around, took some pieces out. Here it is. Duh. So that was there, and this was here, and I was like, well, now I have to, you know, piece it. I had to put another piece in there, and it just made no sense. So I just took the fabric. I'll use these in another project. They won't end up in the trash for sure. I have a couple of more leaves left. I have one flower left. I put these leaves up here to kind of fill in that blank space. 2 leaves there to cover up this flower over here. This edge will probably get cut off. It's overhanging just a tad, but I'm going to sew it down because when you sew, everything sucks in anyway. So yeah, so I've changed it how many times? Probably 10. But you know what? It's okay because I'm in love with this now. I really am. And I want to thank you for all of the positive comments on it. That helped me a lot. It really did. So I have a little rope basket here with all the fabric and the extra bits that I'll probably use on this. I have some of these flowers that are papery, and I don't expect this to get washed. I mean, I'm using this here in my own house, so I'm really not expecting it, that thing's falling out, to get washed. But I have some really pretty, like some of these would go in here really nice, and you layer these on top of each other and they look really pretty. So, you know, one could go there, and that could have, that might be too big. Oops, I've got a bunch of stuff mixed in that one. That might be too big. Yep, that would cover everything up. But you know what I mean. If you've ever seen these flowers, I can't find them anymore. This would go really well. That would go there. That one's really pretty. Oh, I like that one there. See, there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. Oof, I imagine in the end, because I'm really getting into this now. That's a really cool background. I like that background. Trying to see which way the writing goes. So if I put that there, and then now I'm just fussing. Squirrel. Yep. That's how it goes, right? Could put that over the top of that. I mean, so many ways of doing it. I think, I mean, I've had these flowers since I was doing journals, and that was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Oh my goodness. These little boxes are great, but they're challenging at the same time. So anyway, all that being said, oopsies. All that being said, I am going to start stitching this down now. And basically what my plan is to do some invisible stitching to get these edges down and get this to all stay where it's supposed to stay. I have used a little glue stick. It's a Tombow glue stick I got when I went to that dyeing class up at Artistic Artifacts. So I am just going to use some, this is cotton sewing thread that comes in a really big spool. It's usually about that big, and I get it at Joann's, and a lot of times they have like a buy 3 get 2 free or something like that, and it's neutral. So this is what I used to use to sew. Well, Tony did it too. He sewed too. The ephemera folios that we used to sell, and I can't do it without my little felt board, of course. Oops. Oh boy. I know you just saw that. What'd I do with it? I just had a big piece of thread. Okay. There's the needle. Where'd the big piece of thread go that I just had in my hand? Oy, 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 oy. Okay, well, I'm not going to. It'll show up. It's on my lap, on the floor. It's somewhere. It's very neutral, so it blends right in. So I'll just take another piece. That piece was really long. It was to do the back of the frame, the blue heart that I just showed you. So welcome to Martha's World. That's what I should name my channel and my business. Welcome to Martha's World. See, I almost did it again. Oh, look. Is that it? Yep, that's it. See, it blended right in with the lace tablecloth. I'm going to put that up there. I also have some cool buttons I can put on here. And yeah, I'm very excited about this now. I'm really loving it. And I think it's hopefully going to keep me busy. Well, I know it'll keep me busy because there's a lot to stitch on here. It's very busy still to me, but I'm okay with that. It's all right. It'll be okay. So I'm just, I don't know if you can see, just going to do this type of invisible stitching where I'm just, ow, felt like something was biting me. Ow. Oh, Martha. This is the way my day has been going. Slept really well last night. Don't have any excuses, but had lots of knots finishing off that heart. It was a challenge, I might say. And so I also had a lot of things going on this morning. I'm not going to bore you with stitching all of this down on camera. I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to go off camera and finish it. This will probably take me more than likely at least a couple of days, I imagine. It's very, that's not where I wanted that needle to come up, but hey, that's where it came up, so it's all good. It's very intricate, and there are a lot of edges and bits to sew down. And I imagine if I did a better job, Corrine does a wonderful job of using threads to hide her, like these white edges. Concentrating. If I go quiet, I'm concentrating. Goodness gracious. Oy, oy, oy. The only thing about big pieces is sewing them, you have to either gather the fabric or you have to have it in a hoop or something, because it's hard to maneuver top and bottom, you know. Okay. And as I said, I did sort of stick these down with a glue stick. It's a washable glue stick I got when I took that class, the dyeing class. But it doesn't say archival or, you know, acid free or anything. So I don't know. Will it eat away at this at some point? Maybe. Hopefully long after I'm gone. I don't know where this will end up once I'm gone, because my daughter doesn't want any of my stuff. And my son would not take any of my stuff. And so probably all end up in the trash anyway. But anyhow, I'm living for today and just enjoying what I'm doing. So I just want to get these edges stitched down. I'm not trying to do anything to hide them at the moment. I may try Corrine's ideas, but also if I highlight these leaves with these colors in thread, then that'll also stitch it down, and hopefully and hopefully it will also hide the edges when I do it that way. So it's all good. It's all good. So today was a very busy morning for me, and I got a lot done. I have an Instant Pot in which I make beans, And I don't know why I start the way I do, because then I have to work my way over to the next piece. Okay. And so each bean cooks for a different amount of time, of course. So you have to do all separate batches. So I had soaked some chickpeas, garbanzo beans, overnight, because I've been making bean salads. And I usually put in garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever you call them where you are. They're interchangeable, they're the same bean. And they have to be soaked overnight, and then they cook for 60 minutes, and then they come to a natural release, and they usually come out perfect that way. The black beans I do from dry, and they take a lot less time. And I usually throw a can of kidney beans or some other kind of bean in it too. And then I put oil, olive oil, a good quality olive oil, and a little bit of red onion and some red wine vinegar in it. And then a lot of times I'll have that for lunch instead of a salad. It's really good if you want to have like a tortilla shell or have some taco chips with it or something like that. So lots of fiber, very good for you, and tastes way better than canned. So yeah, I like doing that. And I hadn't done it in a very long time. Probably last summer was the last time I did it. So I had been missing eating it. And while we were away on our trip, I started craving it. So I made a batch then, but I used canned beans because we just didn't have the time. We weren't sitting still long enough at any one time to let the garbanzo beans soak overnight and all that stuff. And 60 minutes for them to cook is a long time. Sure, I just used canned. It was okay. So I did that this morning. I did the garbanzo beans and the black beans. And then I did, what else did I do? I had breakfast, I had showered, and then I had a load of wash-in. I did that, put it in the dryer, and just up and down and back and forth all morning, plus working on the heart, plus catching up on a few videos. Whoops, ew, no. Oh, I forgot. I never glued that down. Oh my goodness gracious me. I glued that down to that, but I never glued this down to there. Whoopses. Let's see if we can get this straightened back out and maybe just put a touch on there so it doesn't keep flopping away. Just a couple little places over here. I'll just stick that down under there. There we go. Better. That is better. All right. Sure. Did I cut this? Yes. Yay. Go, Martha. Yeah, so I had a lot going on this morning. I got that done. Wrote an email to Robin. Hi, Robin. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everybody's having a good day. And if you're doing this and you have a channel, can you link it below in the comments, please? I would appreciate that. And of course, I have all of my threads. I have not chosen my threads yet because there's just a lot going on here. A lot of yellows, blacks, browns, oranges, deep reds. It's going to be fun. It's going to take me for freaking ever. This probably, I can pretty much almost guarantee this probably is not going to be a finished project by the end of fall, autumn. Mostly because I'm 5 weeks behind. We were away for 3 weeks in September, and that put me way, way behind. And I was going to start with my Christmas one. However, Christmas will probably end up being behind too, because I need to find the fabric. I think it was Debbie. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But it was suggested to me to look for a poinsettia fabric with white poinsettias on them. And that's a really brilliant idea, because then even if I want to cover up the background, say the background is red or something, hopefully it's not. It'd be wonderful if I could find white poinsettias on a blue background, but I doubt I'd be that lucky. But that's what I'm going to go for. And I need to do some searching online and see if there even is any fabric being made this year by that. But it's very hard because there's so many fabric makers that it gets very hard to search online for me. I used to be really good at researching stuff online, but I am not as good anymore. I am currently trying to find a new, very well-reviewed water filter, preferably a countertop one. Our Berkey crapped out on us, and you cannot currently buy new filters, and come to find out, they never got tested by NSF. Don't ask me what NSF stands for. I don't know. I haven't searched that thoroughly yet. But that is supposed to be the standard. NSF is a third-party testing company that tests water filters and what contaminants. I have such a problem with that word. I tried to say it all day yesterday and kept messing it up. It removes from the water. We have really not great water here at all. Okay. Well. No wonder I can't get it to work. Rethreading number 2. Okay. And as I'm doing this research, there are like hundreds of opinions out there. So my next step is to see if the Food and Drug Administration, not that I trust the government a whole lot with their decisions, I do not. I'm not against our government, but I do struggle with actually trusting some things. And come to find out, if I had done my research about Berkey a lot sooner, I would have realized, no, I just jumped in because so many RVers use a Berkey. Well, yeah, they claim certain things, but they have no evidence, and so the government told them they had to stop selling their filters, and until they proved their claims, and Berkey doesn't want to do that, so now they're trying to sue the government. I mean, seriously. If you have enough money to sue the government, you're getting way too much for what you do. I'm sorry. So I cannot wait for Berkey to sort their mess out, and now I don't trust them anyway. And so I am looking for a new water filter, and the hard part about that is deciding which one is the best. There are a lot of nasty things in water, and like I said, our water is not the greatest around here, and we've gotten notices from our water company that, oh, by the way, we don't meet certain standards. So now we have to add even more chlorine than we already used to add. And my skin and my hair do not like that at all. So I'm struggling with that. And I don't want to get a whole house water filter because we don't know if we're going to stay in this house forever. And we did that at the farm that we moved off of right before we moved off of it. We had to get a water softener, and we had to get a whole house water system to filter with UV blue light and all that, to filter the water to get the bacteria out, because we wanted to sell the house and the well water did not come back clean. And we had been drinking bottled water, and I just got tired of buying bottles and taking them to the landfill. I just got I was very unhappy doing that. But at the time, it was the only way that I could drink water. So this all started way back when. I mean, I've been drinking bottled water for eons, and I know it's not good for the environment, but I've never liked the water anywhere we've ever lived since moving to Virginia. Germany, used to drink the water out of the tap all the time, but not here. So, yeah, it's been a struggle, and so that's going to be a task I need to undertake, like an entire day of research, and then make a freaking decision. You've seen how I am about making decisions. I'm not very good at it. So, I need to do that and spend an entire day doing that. Today wasn't that day because I wanted to finish that blue heart. I was so very close last night. I was so close. And I was stitching, and I got a big old fat knot in the back that I wanted to get out of it. And it was time to start dinner, and I just gave up for the night because I had been sitting there for probably, I don't know, 5 hours during the day, stitching off and on. I had to get up and stretch my back. And yeah. Oh, I'm really liking this. Even if I do say so myself. So tomorrow, I am going up to Northern Virginia again. Oopsies. To Artistic Artifacts. It's in Alexandria, if any of you are in the area. They are having tomorrow and Saturday, but Saturday's weather is supposed to be really crummy, or really crummy. Let's see, where did I leave off? Sometimes I forget. Okay, right here. And so tomorrow is supposed to be sunny and 77. It's going to be quite warm, like Indian summer warm. Well, not really, because it's way hotter than that in the summer here, but I go around these acorns while I'm at it. Sorry, concentration again. Ooh, hate when that happens. And that'll be pretty much an all-day trip. So they're having a sale, but not only are they having a sale, but upstairs on their second floor, they're doing like a maker's market. So people who have handmade items are going to be selling them. And you need to be above that. Thank you. I want to go and see what people have made and how they're pricing it. I hope it's not a bunch of I just hope it's creative stuff, not, I don't know how to put it nicely, not like things that people have knitted and crocheted and then That's not straight at all. I'm not happy with that, but anyway, it is what it is. I mean, I knit and crochet myself, but you know, I don't like going to craft events where people are hand making things. See, that wasn't supposed to lay like that. Shoot. Do I want that on top or underneath? I really like that sunflower. Maybe we'll just stick it underneath. Decisions. They are the hardest. So, Artistic Artifacts is a pretty upscale place. Alexandria is mostly a pretty upscale place. So, I want to go and see how people have priced their stuff. And if this happens again next year, maybe I could go there and sell my things. We'll see. Anyhow, I want to go to that, and Tony got up today, and he didn't feel well all night. And he's hoping he's not coming down with something like a cold. But he was draining all night, you know, stuff draining down his throat. And he said he has a little bit of a sore throat. But this happens to him. It's happened to him several times where he wakes up and he's like choking. And it's from stuff draining. Yet his nose is not runny. It's clear. But at first he thought it was something he was eating. Like, was it olive oil? Was it, you know, tomato sauce at night if we were having pasta? Or was it, you know, what was it? Well, he had a very simple dinner of potatoes and vegetables last night, so it wasn't dinner. And so, yeah, he had gone outside and worked yesterday in the yard. And I guarantee something hit him the wrong way outside. He's allergic to something around here in the yard. And when he does the yard and works, and especially if he blows the leaves, he has a really hard time breathing afterward. Not breathing, but with drainage and stuff. Now, he was fine before he went to bed, but when he got up, not so much. He woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oops, I just hit you. Sorry. So sorry. He woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning choking. So I think it's an allergic reaction. That's my personal viewpoint on it. And I'm usually right. So he came home he had to go out and take care of Blue. Blue is our horse, if you're new here. If you're new here, welcome. Martha's Ramblings. And the young lady that comes and trims the horse's hooves is called a farrier. And she was coming today. And I just had too much to do in the house to go with. And yeah, he was gone about 4. He left at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. It was like 1 o'clock when he came home. 3.5 hours. And I got a lot of stuff done in that 3.5 hours. I cannot always go with him out to see the horse. And really, it was just a matter of standing there while the young lady does his feet. And then he brushes him and spends a little time with him. And then he comes home. So, not really a whole lot for me to do out there. I don't think I did that yet. Whoopsies. 3rd time unthreading, 4th time unthreading. I had my door open. I cannot see. I had my door open, my sliding door in the bedroom open, and there was a beautiful, it's really pretty out today. The sun is finally shining. Every day it shines a little bit, but most of the time it just gets cloudy all over again. in the afternoons. So I had my door open, but somebody's cutting trees down like the next street over, and boy is it noisy. You could hear the one tree drop, boom, when it hit the ground. So there was that. Ooh, and the other day I made the best homemade tomato soup. Oh my goodness gracious, it was good. It was so good. It was a vegan version. I'll get this piece down first and then move down there. And I love tomato soup in the winter, and I haven't had it in like almost 2 years, because when I went vegan, I didn't want to use almond milk or coconut milk. I'm not fond of coconut anyway. And a lot of people use cashews to make things creamy, and I'm like, no, don't want that either. I tried it in a couple things, did not like it at all. So then it dawned on me, navy beans. So I used navy beans. I cooked some navy beans in the Instant Pot. They don't take very long. And while my tomatoes, onions, and carrots were roasting, and garlic, and I don't ever eat garlic either, but I roasted it all in the oven for about an hour, sort of off and on, probably an hour, maybe a little more. Anyway, roasted it all in the oven, and wow. Then I put it in a pan, a saucepan, a deep saucepan. And my immersion blender, like, it's just too powerful. And it has a low and a high setting, but it's like restaurant grade, I think, because stuff goes flying everywhere. And I've tried everything I can think of using the deepest pan I had, and it just went flying everywhere. It was ridiculous. I had to take my shirt off and spot treat it to wash all the spots off. Ugh, some of my stitches are not. These stitches that are already on the back, they were to tack down the backing fabric, so those can come off once I'm done stitching everything. So what was I saying? The tomato soup in the immersion blender. Next time I'll try putting it, I have a blender. It's not a Vitamix, unfortunately. I can't afford one of those. I wish I could. But, okay. I think that's that whole piece. So I'm just going to go back. Come on. There we go. So I'll try putting it in the blender next time. But I just, once everything was roasted, I stuck it in the deep, like a soup pan, and I threw the navy beans in there, and only 1 clove of garlic, because I typically don't eat garlic, but roasted it came out really mild. And I've heard that before, that garlic comes out really mild, and it's supposed to be good for you. So I'm trying to branch out and eat more things that I don't normally eat by flavoring food with them. And so I blended it all, and the navy beans made it all creamy. It made it like a creamy tomato soup. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. When I laid the tomatoes and the garlic and the onion, it was a whole sweet onion that I cut into like quarters, and I only did 1 carrot. Next time I'll probably do 2 or 3, make it a little sweeter. But when I did that, I put Italian seasonings on it, and then I put salt, onion powder, and a little bit of paprika for a little bit of, I don't like hot or spicy. And I just sprinkled that all over all of the ingredients and roasted it, like I said, for about an hour on 400. You have to, it depends on your oven, your tomatoes, your everything. So how small you chop them. I only cut the Roma tomatoes in half. If I did them in quarters, it probably would have cooked faster. The tomatoes aren't what took so long. The onion and the garlic took a long time. And I didn't want to wrap my garlic in foil because foil is not supposed to be good for you when you use it in the oven. Yeah, I listen to too many opinions. Yes, I know. So I looked up how to roast garlic without using foil, and you can use a ramekin. I don't have ramekins, but I have Anchor Hocking glass dishes that are oven safe. So I just put a little one over the top of the garlic. Oh, you have to sprinkle everything with olive oil too, of course, first. And oh my gosh, my first time, and it was so good. I've had it every day for lunch. It would also make a yummy sauce for pasta. Totally vegan, no milk of any sort, no fake milk in it, or, you know, dairy alternative milk, whatever you want to call it. Just navy beans, just like a half a cup of navy beans cooked in the Instant Pot until they were really soft, and put those in it, and it made it nice and creamy. And it's a little chunky, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, the flavor in that thing is so good. I like when I'm successful at cooking something, because that's not always the case. So I've just been having that and avocado toast. I toast a piece of organic bread, seeded bread, and I put a half avocado on it, sliced thinly. No, I put homemade hummus on it first. Then I put some avocado on it. And then I sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, salt, and everything bagel seasoning on it. So good. So good. Okay, well, you've watched me do this, most of it. I have a long ways to go. So I'm going to end the video here. I appreciate you sticking it out with me. And gosh, I can't believe it's 42 minutes already. Thanks for listening to my ramblings, and I will see you in the next one. And hopefully we will move on to stitching the highlights in these flowers, the birds, the squirrel, the chipmunk, the leaves, the acorns. I just want to do the highlights, and then we'll see how intricate we get and how much we add to it as far as the other suggested add-ins. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging with me. Happy crafting. Take care. Bye.